Today's going to be a little bit different because I'm going to propose a toast to the man behind Chemix, the Guerilla Chemist himself. For his name is Brian, and he's been in the supplement industry for quite a while. He's been with many notorious brands, he's written for many websites, and he is truly a credentialed chemist who not only is willing to read and write about certain things, but he's also willing to test them on his health. And on his Instagram, you can learn so much about what he's been working on and what he's been reading about, and he will help people along the way. And for that, we owe a major thanks because he's willing to go into the areas, and there's not much of that in this supplement we're going to talk about, but he's willing to go into the areas that many other chemists or researchers or fitness enthusiasts aren't even willing to read about. And he's oftentimes willing to try them himself. And for that, Guerilla Chemist, we thank you. We lift our cups to the sky and appreciate that there is only one and only Guerilla Chemist in this supplement industry. And I am more than honored to be reviewing his pre-workout supplement right now.
Welcome to Price Plow.
Woo! There's clearly some mushrooms going on in this one. What's going on, folks? This is Mike Roberto. I'm the founder of Price Plow, a tech and media company that brings you the dietary supplement industry's news, reviews, and interviews. And we have lots of diet research. And in this case, we're going to be talking about a pre-workout supplement that's got quite a lot of thermogenic stuff inside. Now, I've been waiting to do this review because I've run this about 5 or 6 times at this point, both during cardio, during weightlifting, and during sitting at my desk just working. And I have quite a few impressions here. So obviously, we have to get the cat out of the bag. Chemix pre-workout by the Guerilla Chemist is a proprietary blend. And we caught a lot of shit. I'm gonna be honest, we caught a lot of shit both on Instagram and our forum that we didn't attack that fact. I guess the fact of the matter is that I can't convince anyone to do anything, and I'm not gonna slam a product right off the bat without having tried it, because this is what I'm looking for in a supplement, a pre-workout, especially for someone like Guerilla Chemist. I'm looking for something different. And we have a lot of something different here. And the formula is very unique. There's missing some stuff, and that's going to be filled by, you could tell what this brand is going to be doing. They'll be filling those gaps with other supplements, but at the same time, what we have here is something that I think is worth trying for anyone who's looking for a very high energy. You're not a rookie. Advanced level, high energy, nootropic based pre-workout supplement. But you got to be able to handle the heat, because there's a 2, maybe 3 ingredient combination here that gets me cooking. Like, no doubt about it, gets me cooking in this, especially, at least when I'm training with it. And that's what's kind of interesting about this one. So yes, it is a proprietary blend. If you can't handle or you will not use proprietary blends, yay, check on out and don't use the product, don't buy it, don't worry about it, because this is going to be a prop blend, and I can't do a damn thing about that. So Guerilla Chemist has been around for quite a while, like I alluded to. He did a lot of formulating early in the days of Blackstone Labs. He more recently has done some stuff with MyoBlocks. There was a brief stint, I don't know what happened with Tiger Fitness, but the fact of the matter is this dude has enough clout and enough persona and enough knowledge that he needed to start his own brand and get someone to manufacture this stuff for him. But obviously, a lot of these science-driven people, science-driven brands need a sales and marketing front with that. And while Guerilla's good at marketing himself, you need someone else, and that's where James comes in. I think these guys make a great combination. So I am more than honored. I have received this product for free, and we are doing a promoted giveaway. I don't know when that's going to publish. I'm waiting on the graphic from them. I have to might make it ourselves. So check out pricelaw.com/Chemix, where you can use our coupon-powered price comparisons to save money on it. But sign up for the alerts, because a free tub of this is coming soon. Maybe they'll throw in their intro, but I don't know. And that's where the product line. So this is the first of the first 3 supplements we know about with this, but I know there's going to be a lot more to come. So Chemix pre-workout, science-based tonics, elixirs, and enhancements. I have only one flavor, the Guerilla Juice, and let's just do a little pour right now out of my little battle shaker. I got the torpedo going, and I do torpedo for the weight loss kind of stuff. Look at that. You can just see the earthiness, and that's because we have 2.6 grams out of a 15-gram scoop, 2.6 grams of mushroom extract, and that's from 2 different ingredients, and a whole gram of Kanna, which is an herb, and we're going to talk about that, because that is the thing that's most different about this supplement. I mean, you can see the stuff already sinking to the bottom. It doesn't taste bad, but I ain't gonna say it tastes good. It doesn't taste great. It's decent. And for me, it's good knowing that there's so much, very difficult stuff to mask inside of here. On top of the stimulants, which are better, you have mushrooms that are earthy. They did a decent job, and they put this together pretty quickly as far as like from start to finish the manufacturing. I think they did a good job flavoring it. In the future, I do hope that they just keep at it and add a couple flavors and get better and better over time. Overall, though, you're not buying this for the flavor, no doubt. You're buying this for nootropic, high energy, high focus workout / possibly high energy or high intensity working in general, just sitting there at your desk, because that was actually where I like this best, which is funny. So Chemix pre-workout, each scoop has 15 grams of powder. I did a scoop way out, and we can switch to that right now. This here is a 29cc scooper, and let me just tell you folks, there is no getting around this mushroom smell. All right, so I've leveled off a scoop, and it comes in at 14.6 grams. You can kind of pack this powder. There's a little bit of glycer pump. And so pack it pretty tight and you'll be good to go here. Glad it's a little bit lower and not a little bit over, because this one's strong. And we're back. And so the scoop way out was perfectly good. And then you just got to look at this. They're talking about superhuman strength, razor focus, unparalleled pump. Nah, I wouldn't say unparalleled pump. There's 3 grams of glycer pump in here, but there's not a single nitric oxide booster inside. Clearly, they're going for a stim-free product that's going to blow it out with that, I'm thinking. This is all, they're going for king of stims here. And then explosive power. So here's my review. I did actually watch someone else's review, and they said the first time they took it, they felt like dying. That's probably the combination of Theophylline, Alpha Yo, and I have a guess at how much is in here, the high dose of caffeine, and then also, here's where the more aggressive supplement that I am very more cautious of is Isopropyl Nrnberg. And these together make for an advanced stimulant user's supplement, no doubt about it. Now, the first time I used it, I did 11 or 12 grams, and I've kind of been showing this on Instagram along the way. So follow Price Plot on Instagram. I used like 3/4 a scoop, or maybe a little bit less, like 70% of a scoop, and I felt it. I went and trained, and I felt heat like no other. It was like I took a gram of that GBB stuff or something like that, and had a bunch of hot peppers. But it was different, and that's the Isopropyl Nrnberg. And this is a form of synephrine that's been shown to be a lot more lipolytic, and it is. It's hot. What's funny is, so I got really hot and sweaty, which I sometimes enjoy, but this stuff was intense. No doubt about it. You should not take more than like 2/3 of a scoop or so the first time you try this. Then down the line, but immediately on top of that though, I got the PEA Euphoria, because you got that in there as well. And then came just like, whoa, laser time. And it was focused. It was really a solid workout. But what was knocking me off the focus a little bit was the heat. No doubt. Isopropyl is going to do that to me. It does it every time, and the dose needs to be low. And I don't know what the dose is here. Everything seems to be like a hodgepodge. And this is where the problem is with the proprietary blend. It seems to be like a hodgepodge of low-dosed aggressive stimulants. So that's all I can really say about that. And then what happened though, the next few workouts, I got up to 14 grams. I've never done a full scoop of this stuff, except for in this shaker I have a full scoop. And I've been very close to the full scoop, and I like it more and more every time I take it. The focus is good, and I'm getting used to the heat, but the heat is there. I mean, I'm gonna be sweating this video. There's no doubt. It's just gonna happen. You can see the herbs though. You gotta keep swirling this guy while you're drinking. Maybe I should do that on the camera. I mean, you gotta keep swirling this guy while you're drinking it if you're not gonna do a whole, chug it. I don't really recommend anyone chug it because it's aggressive. So in this supplement, what they're going for is the energy and focus. The main ingredient that I want to talk about here, and I might as well finish my review though, and then we'll talk a little bit about the ingredients. There's so many that we have a blog post you can link back to. And so, very hot workouts. That's just how it was for me, but very focused, almost too hot that it was knocking out the focus a little bit. Then I decided, let me just try to work with this stuff. For whatever reason, when I was just sitting there at my desk, I didn't get the heated sensation as much. Maybe I was starting to get used to it a little bit, but I had perfect in the zone focus. And I'm thinking like you could nearly take this formula, take the glycer pump out, take out the Pico 2 maybe, and add in a little bit more lion's mane or something like that. And you can then have an absolutely phenomenal nootropic supplement as well. So I really look forward to seeing what Guerilla Chemist is going to do, because eventually he's got to have a nootropic. This is very nootropics oriented without being a nootropic. And then after, and so that's pretty much my review. But at the end of the day, this is for a targeted audience. It's people who like Guerilla Chemist, want to follow them. They're okay with the prop blend, and you're gonna be okay with some harsh stimulants, but they seem to be semi-low dose. You need to have there's a lot of stuff going on here, but you got to be looking for a nootropic kind of a pre-workout and you can handle these aggressive stimulants. Well, if you can do that, I think you're going to enjoy this. But yeah, it's a prop blend, so I can't really go into total detail about everything else. Now, what's really awesome here is that they do have that gram of Kanna. And so this is also known as Sceletium tortuosum. And this is something that every time I talk to Guerilla Chemist, this herb comes up. And he loves it because it is a mood enhancer. Some people just really get elevated by it. And so it's used in Africa as a they chew on it in Africa. And what Guerilla said is there's a lot of standardized extracts where you need only 25 milligrams. He threw in the full gram of, I believe, mostly just straight up Kanna herb to get the full spectrum, because that's really how it's used in nature. And so that's a cool idea. I was willing to try it, and it's something in here I like a lot, and it's that. Now it works as a PDE4 inhibitor, so it increases CAMP levels, and that enables, oftentimes that leads to higher testosterone levels. It increases workout performance. It gives overall energy, but for some reason it seems to be a euphoric mood booster. Now on top of that though, in this label we also have, and once again, it is, of course, in the prop blend, but we have the N-Phenethyldimethylamine Citrate, advanced form of PEA in here as well, which I always call a mood booster as well. So you have lots of just angles, and we're hitting a lot of things. You're getting a big dopamine rush. This should not be used by anyone who's on a prescription drug or an SSRI or anything like that, because on top of that, you have L-tyrosine as well, the amino acid, and that's the front load of the proprietary blend. The proprietary blend being 2.647 grams of this exothermic energy amalgam. Did I pronounce that wrong? Anyway, so then it's front loaded with L-tyrosine and DMAE, not DMAA, but DMAE, which is kind of like a choline source, helps prevent the breakdown of acetylcholine, which keeps you more focused. Everything in here is lots and lots of either euphoria or energy. Now the part of the formula that's open is the Pico 2 grams of that, which is the clinical dose, and they're using that kind of as the VO2 booster, the endurance booster here. There's no beta-alanine. And then there's Glycer Pump, 3 grams, so that's standardized for 65% glycerol, and that's going to give a water volumization type of water kind of pump that we call it, and we call this a hyperhydration in high doses. 3 grams is definitely on the high end. We've seen slightly higher, but that's on the high end of this. So you have basically 2 grams of actual glycerol getting in here, so drink plenty of water with this stuff. And then you have the gram of Kanna, and then 600 milligrams of lion's mane, which is another nootropic mushroom, so that enables you to increase the nerve growth factor and helps with memory formation, all sorts of really great stuff. So what I like about this is that Guerilla's taking some of the new age science and applying it to a pre-workout supplement. Unfortunately though, of course, in the prop blend we have all sorts of craziness going on. So we have a double caffeine anhydrous and then caffeine citrate blend. I like that because caffeine citrate hits fast for me. And then caffeine, we all know what caffeine anhydrous is. One thing they didn't put on the label I think they might want to do next time is so at the end of the day, you have a resulting 350 milligrams of caffeine inside. So that's your litmus test of how much you should dose. Do not do more than a scoop. I don't think, even if you think you can handle 450 milligrams of caffeine, not with this one, not with a lot of stuff we've reviewed lately. There's no DMHA in here, but they do have the advanced form of PEA, and it's labeled, N-Phenethyldimethylamine Citrate. And then instead of using hordenine as kind of a natural MAO inhibitor, they're actually using rhodiola rosea instead. I think this is another herb. Once again, another herb that's probably difficult to make taste good. They're using that as a MAO inhibitor, so and it has its own adaptogenic effects. But they don't really state the standardization of the rhodiola rosea. So that's another problem. There's a kind of a closed formula inside the closed formula. You either go after the rosifines or the salitricides. Salitricides are higher energy content. Rosifines seem to be more adaptogenic, but typically it's 3%. We really don't know what we have here. This could just be some basic water extract, and that's the kind of stuff that I think people expect Guerilla Chemist to put out. But at the same time, stuff feels good. So I have to review it. I have to review this tub here. Will your tub in the future be the exact same? I can't really guarantee that, but I'm reviewing this tub here and it's fun stuff. After that, you have higenamine, a beta-2 agonist, which is going to give you that little bit of that dopamine boost, a little bit of that fight or flight response, a little bit of that detaching fatty acids for use. Great for workouts. It might be a little bit thermogenic too. I've noticed it's a great appetite suppressant. Once again, at this point, we don't know what dose we have at all, but it seems like it's around 50 milligrams is the standard dose. I could see that being in here. Then after that, we have Theophylline, which we don't always see, and that's like a xanthine drug, kind of like caffeine, but it's yet another beta-2 agonist. It's used for bronchodilation. So you could breathe a little bit easier, which actually seems to go well with the Pico too. Like there's a little bit of a synergy going on in this formula. I have to say it. Whether or not we know the formula, specific, the dose is obviously up for debate, as I said 100 times, but at the same time, you're seeing what Guerilla Chemist is kind of putting together here. After the Theophylline, we then have the Isopropyl Nrnberg, which is before the alpha yo. So I don't know what dose this stuff is in. All I know is this stuff is hot. And it is a form of synephrine that is like crazy hot. And it's to me, this and alpha yo are the make it or break it doses for you. My guess, after working out one time, I got the cold sweats with the alpha yo and it wasn't bad. And that was 3/4 the scoop. This has got to be, I'm thinking that this is somewhere between like 1.75 to 2.25, somewhere in that range of alpha yo. I would just say 2 milligrams of alpha yo. And for me, that's acceptable when I do 3/4 scoops. If I do a full scoop here, I'm gonna be feeling it, and that's kind of where I think it's at. So I like this a lot at 3/4 of a scoop. Then we have the Huperzine A, and that closes out the formula. And the Huperzine A is once again going to keep the choline stores high by preventing the breakdown of the choline. So that's kind of the formula. Overall, though, I'm really excited that Guerilla Chemist is finally doing something on his own where he's kind of like untethered. He's got a good business partner and they're able to do some really fun stuff. But at the same time, I would like to see a little bit more clarity on some of this. I would like Guerilla Chemist to come out and talk about it as well. But overall, there's no doubting that there's something a little bit different in here. And I believe it's the Kanna, and Guerilla is a huge fan of this stuff. And so I think that's really what he's going for. You have a lot of energy, mood, focus coming out of the supplement, and a lot of people love to train like that, but it's going to come with some heat. And that's my overall review. Now, given that there's not a single nitric oxide booster, we have to believe that's coming soon. We know that their intra workout is here as well, and that's going to have a lot of cluster dextrin with based carbohydrates, a little bit extra, 5 grams of creatine, I believe. So they're putting together this whole stack. But this is the stim-based pre-workout, and for the pumps, you're probably going to have to add something else if you need nitric oxide activity. So this isn't a one scoop wonder. This is stim, focus, and some heat. My name is Mike Roberto. Thanks again for watching. You got to go to price.com/Chemix, check out the prices, and then sign up for the alerts because we are going to be doing a giveaway towards the end of February 2019. If you came in later, well, hopefully they kept this formula mostly the same because it's a good one. Whether or not I get called out for it on the prop blend, I'm not going to hate every prop blend. I am going to hate on the ones that have like glutamine and a bunch of taurine up front and everything, even though taurine's even got some benefits. That's not in here. Anyway, I'm not gonna hate on every single prop blend. Guerilla Chemist is obviously hiding some of the stuff he's doing, but the most interesting thing that he's done here, to be honest, is the gram of Kanna. And he kept that right open. So if you want to try what that feels like, then go to price.com/Chemix and give it a shot, because to me, it is damn euphoric. My name is Mike Roberto. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, leave your comments and feedback, and I know there's gonna be some criticism because people want to get inside a Guerilla Chemist's brain. Hey, I can't help you with that, but I can tell you this stuff kicks. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Welcome to Price Plow.